Welcome to Yerushalmi Sotah Daf Dalet. Just before we start the Gemara, a lot of numbers over here that are thrown around and a lot of issues. And I actually went to the trouble to add up all the numbers with the Shvatim. Suffice it to say that, at least from what's available, um, we couldn't find that these numbers are exact. So I'm not going to focus that much on them. The general idea, well, I'll explain it best I can. Um, the general idea is true, but that the numbers seem to be off, and it's pointed out in the carbon A that the numbers are off, and if you add them up, you'll see the numbers are off. So I'm not sure where the carbon A got the numbers from. There's if you have the Oiz Hadar, you'll see the side he has the Geis and Tziyonim, and he brings down over there from different Pirushim that there's issues, and he brings down some of the correct numbers. But again, the numbers aren't that important. It's just the concepts that are important. So we're in the middle of the sugya of Hagriz Maharevel. So the Gemara says, and we're about halfway down. I'm a little higher than halfway down. It's about a two dots. Ma Talmud loime v'hachetzioi. What does it mean v'hachetzioi? So the pasuk says, V'chol Yisrael is kena v'shoitrim v'shoiftav oimdim mizeh u'mizeh la'aroin neged aroin bris Hashem kageh koezeh chetzioi el mul hagrizim v'hachetzioi el mul harevel. Now obviously that's a little weird. It should say chetzioi el mul hagrizim v'chetzioi el mul harevel. What's v'hachetzioi? So the Gemara says el malam shemu utim b'hagrizim u'merubim b'harevel. The is the chetzi. In other words, it's the chetzi. So the chetzi over here means that it's the close to the chetzi. That's what it means. The chetzioi. In other words, the half was. I apologize. The other way around. The Chetzioi was on Hagrizim. The Stam Chetzi was on Hagrizim because they had less. The Ha Chetzi, like the Hey idea, that was on Har Evel. Fine. So it's the same. The Ha Chetzi Lamlamid, right? So Mat Hamaloim Chetzioi, the Ha Chetzioi, and Lam Shemutin, Hagrizim Merubim Har Evel. Lama. Shein Shifter Shalevi Kuloi Sham. So now, because the Shevet Levi wasn't all there like we saw on Daf Lamed Gimel. Shem Hayu Kol Shevet Levi Kulasham Hayu Shaven, they be about equal. Now again, I'll just give one example of this. If you add up all the Shvatim using the numbers from Pashas Pinchas, if you add it up and you assume all the Shvatim are there, Hagrizim actually has 316,800 and Harevel has 307,930, meaning that what we just said is wrong because Hagrizim actually had more. So the Gemara says because actually not the whole Shevet Levi was there. Shevet Levi was 23,000 people. Let's assume for now that those 23, none of them were there. So then Taka Harevel was Taka more because Harevel 307,000 and like I said, Hagrizim had 316,000. Take away 23,000 from Shevet Levi, it will be less than Har Evel. Okay. Rabbi Shmuel ben Nachman Shem Rabbi Yonasan, Elohayu, Kol Shifter Shalevi Sham, Lo Yehoyu Shavan. Actually, no, even if Shevet Levi would be on Hagrizim, they still wouldn't be the same. Lama, Shekvan Naflu Mishifter Shel Shimon Esra Bo Elef Beshitim. Because 24,000 people died in the Magefa by Pinchas, right? And they were wiped out from Shevet Shimon. So Shevet Shimon, which was on Hagrizim, and I should say, point this out, Hagrizim had Shimon, Levi, Yehudi, Yisachar, Yosef, and Binyamin. So Shimon was kind of decimated. So therefore, even though Levi was there, Hagrizim would still be less than Harevel. Right? I'm going to be able to Ilu hayu kol shifter shel Levi sham hayu shavin. Lama shalei ba'am mishevet Reuven v'Gad el abam elef chalutzei tzava. Actually, we're forgetting something else. The only ones who crossed the Yarden from Reuven and Gad, right, were just the ones who fought. So the actually Reuven and Gad who were on Har Evel, and Reuven's 43,730. Gad is 40,500. And from between the two of them, there were only 40,000, not the 83,000, actually 84,000 that you would have had. So it still would come out that even if you had the whole Levi there, even if you had the whole Levi there, you would still, since you're missing on the Harevel side, you're missing most of Shevet, Reuven, and Gad, they would still be Shav. They would still be roughly equal. And again, they're not equal, and that's why I gave the Akdama that I gave. They're really not equal, no matter what way you slice. What we mean to say equal is that they're kind of similar in terms of amounts of people that were on them. Okay. Kahana kishem shein cholkin or chalukin, kach hein chalukin betchilas hachomesh hasheni. So what Kahana is saying over here is the same way they're not split up based off of the order in which they were born, because like I said, you have Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Yosef, and Binyamin Hagrizim, Reuven, Gad, Asher, Zvulun, Dan, Naphtali, and Harevel. They're not split up in age order. That's how they're actually split up in Parshas in in Shemais. In Tchilas Sefer Shemais, and we could just look at the carbonate for a second. Kachin Cholkim betchilas hachumash hasheni, daina betchilas Sefer velo Shemais. Shleniskru keseder elo bnei Leah mikan, bnei Rachel echad mikan veechad mikan, bnei Shvaches beemtza. So they were listed in such a way that they were not listed in order. And again, I'm not going to delve into which parts and how they were split up. The overriding thing is that they're not split up in age order. Is Tani Tonik Shem Shem Cholkin or Chalukin Kan, Kachin Chalukin B'Digolem, B'nei Levi, B'nei Leah Mikan, B'nei Rochel Mikan, Chad Mikan, V'chad Mikan, Ubnei Shvach is Be'emtza. Actually, you have to change the gears a little bit according to the Carbonada. And I'll just read it again with the Carbonada is Girsa B'nei Leah Mikan, Ubnei Rochel Mikan, Ubnei Shvach is Chad Mikan, Ushlosh Mikan. And I'll just to get the idea across, we'll read the Carbonade. Vach Perushay Degel Rishon Ha Yehuda Yisachar Zvulun. So that would be Bnei Leah. Basheni is Reuven, Shimon, and Gad. So again, you have Bnei Leah. Bashlishi Ephraim and Asher bin Yamin. That's Bnei Rachel. And Ravi is Dan, Asher, and Naphtali. So the way you had them, so they were split up, is you had Bnei Leah, they Bnei Rachel, and the Bnei Shvachis, you had Chad Mikan, like we saw, right? And then you had and Shloisha Mikan, Dan Asher Naphtali. Okay. Amr of Masni, Taima, the Dein Tanya. And the Carbonator says this is talking, what he's saying over here is that the Shvatim, none of the Shvatim was greater than the other. I'll just read it again. The Carbonator, the time of the Dein Tanya, Tam Shal Hanach Tanoim. They're all equal. Why do we have a specific Seder? Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, etc., Ruvain, Gad, Asher, etc. Have a little mistama. Shisha Shvat Niyalu Rosh Hagrizim, Shisha Rosh Harevel. Just say six go up here, six go up there, and finished. So we said no. So after the Gemara, because Shomei Lai, we're quoting a pasuk here, Shma Ilai Yaakov Yisrael Mikoiroi. So we're dashni Mikoiroi like a roof. Ma tikrazu uvya dehain gabi kutna dehain, vovya dehain gabi kutna dehain. So the same way when you're putting a roof together, so yeah, you're going to put the thinner part of the roof over the thicker, right, the beams and vice versa. This way you have a straight roof. So to over here, since the populations were not all exactly the same, and we wanted them to be roughly equal, so we didn't just say six go up here and six go up there. You could have because you could end up with six of the most populous shvatim on one side and six of the least populous shvatim on the other side, and in which case there'll be You're not going to be anything anywhere near equal. So therefore, to balance it out, we gave we gave an order which Shvatim go where. Fine. Is tiny tonic shem shem chalukin kan kachen chalukin ba'avnei ephod. The same way they're split over here, that's how they're split in the avnei ephod. B'milu oisam kadeshu esem v'chamisha mikan v'esem v'chamisha mikan. So you would have b'milu oisam. So now you had the same way they were split over here. Um, that the same way they were split the Hagrizim. So on one side of on one column you had by the ephod Shimon Levi Yehudi Yisachar Yosef and Yom. On the other column you had Reuven Gad Asher Zvulun Dan Naphtali. Fine. So this way you have 25 letters on each side. Freit the Gemara, one second, can all count. If I count up all the letters of the Shvatim, I did it, you're going to end up with 49, not 50. Amr Yochanan ben Yamin de Vitaldosam Male. Ben Yamin is written Male, he's written with an extra Yud. So therefore you end up with 50 letters. Okay. Amr Baz Vida, no, Yosef Male, 8. And where do you see this from the Pasuk? 8 is by Yosef Shmai. Fine. So it wasn't Binyamin, it was Yosef that was written Mole with a hey. Faiti Gemara, but if I add them up on either side, okay, the way we just said, agrees on one side, Harville on the other side, Va'aloi einan ela esrim v'shloisha mikan, v'esrim v'shiva mikan. The side of Hagrizim has 27 ICS, and the side of Harevel has 23 ICS. So what do you tell me, 25 and 25? Amr Yochanan bin Yamin have a hayachatzoi ben Mikan and Yamin Mikan. Binyamin's name was split, and on one column you had Ben, Beis Nun, and the other side you had the rest of them Yamin. Okay, so you ended up with 25 and 25. Amr Azvid v'yeyus miksiv shisha shmoisam doesn't say shisha shmoisam ella mishmoisam. It says Shisha Mishmoisam, which is again it's very strange. Why Mishmoisam? Because Mishmoisam like Kol Shmoisam. Not all the names were on each column. You had one name, namely Binyamin, pun intended, that was split. And that's Mishmoisam. Fine. הראשון נכתב מימינו של כהן גדול משמאלו של קורא, והאחרונים נכתב משמאלו של כהן גדול מימינו של קורא. So the first ones were written on the right side of Kohen Gadol, which if you're facing the Kohen Gadol, that'll be on your left, and the other ones were written vice versa. Harishonu nechtav al Seder. Actually, Rishonim were not written al Seder, because on the Rishonim, those are the ones who went on Hagrizam, Yehuda was amongst them, and since Yehuda was the Melech, she Yehuda Melech, Achroinim nichtavin al Seder. The Achroinim were written on Keseder, but not the Rishonim. And actually, I'll just we'll look at the carbonated for a second. En I'll say this: the carbonated Amr Khan Elo Yehuda Shu Amelech Yikasa Beroish Kulon. The Ksiv Shisha Mishmoisum Ala Even Hashenis Kisel Daisam. 6 of them were written Kisel Daisam. Vidashinim Shniim Kisel Daisam. Right? It says with Ksiv Shisha Mishmoisum Ala Even Hashenis Kisel Daisam. So the Even Hashenis was written Kisel Daisam. Vidashinim Shniim Kisel Daisam. Only on the Evan Hashenis it was Kisel Daisam. Veinu Rishonim Kisel Daisam. Why? Lefisha Yehuda Muktam. So therefore it was out of order because even though you had Shimon and Levi that were older than Yehuda, but Yehuda was listed first because he was the Melech. Zok Deli Mishnah Lochehei. They brought these avonim, they built a mizbeach, v'sadam besid, they smeared them with lime, because Valan is called Torah Azois, b'shiv and Lashon, they wrote out the whole Torah in 70 languages, Shnemer, Ba'er explain it very well. If you're not explaining it in every language, you're not explaining it well. V'natlu so avonim, uvo v'lanu b'mekayman, and they went and they went from there. They went to Gilgal. So they took the stones and they went to Gilgal. And I'll just read from the carbonated here. They makrif the oilus v'nasu misham, and they went away from over there. That's where they put up these stones with the Torah on it. We'll stop here for Daf Lamed Dalet.